you're amazing. You're amazing. One day I'll be looking back on this and I'll say, I'm so happy that you said you would stay. There were times I know that I was crazy, fraying at the edges and you saved me. I'm losing count of chances that you gave me. You're laughing at me dancing really badly and telling me the reasons why you'd gladly do it all again. Cause I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Well, hey, words can never adequately convey everything you're giving to me today. But holding you is better than a holiday, and leaving you I dread it like exam day. So at the risk of sounding kinda risque, everything to now has been the foreplay. Darling, I would follow you to Norway, or anywhere you want it. Cause I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. One day, when we're getting wrinkly and our hair's grey, a rusty old banger in the driveway, one of us will maybe wear a toupee, but I will be in love with you.
Welcome back, amazing impact makers. Who is excited for day 2 of the Public Speaking Academy graduation? Week 8 of the full transformational journey. I see some speakers in the backstage who literally just came on, and I'm just gonna say it, you all. Like, can we both say that we were almost puking? These people are ready to create a transformational journey, and I see people in the YouTube who are totally ready to support. Everybody's there, absolutely freaking amazing. What I shared yesterday, like, we can make this long, we can keep this short in the beginning, but it is okay if we keep it very short so we can dive into the amazing transformational stories that we're about to hear today. Yesterday we had 3 amazing women, and I loved watching all of your beautiful YouTube or your videos that you shared with each other. I hope you also created some beautiful testimonials so everybody can use it in a marketing material, but also, besides watching your own talk back, you can also look at how other people experienced, how other people valued authenticity above perfection. So you have more leverage into your consciousness and your subconsciousness that actually is your biggest asset as an entrepreneur, as a speaker, as a person. So, today we have two amazing impact makers. And those two amazing impact makers know as well that showing up is winning. So, whatever comes out is perfect. Let's speak it out loud together. Whatever comes out is perfect. Perfect. I am amazing. And so it is. Super. All right, I think that's the best foundation that we can ever have. Before I'm only going to introduce the first speaker of today. Because yesterday were three amazing women, but we have another one. Oh my God, I know it's an abundance of amazingness. That's what this really is about. Because today we're going to hear from our very own Linda Pernia, and she's going to share the journey of finding peace in a storm. Please help me welcome to the stage Linda. Linda, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Lori. It seems like yesterday, sitting on the floor behind the closed door, holding on to a stuffed dog that once brought comfort after a bad divorce, tears streaming down her face. She was overwhelmed. She was lost. She was exhausted, not knowing where to go. This wasn't the life that she had envisioned for herself. Little did she know that this would mark a turning point, a journey from despair to serenity. My name is Linda, and is it okay if I share my story? I was a product of my environment. I was born in the Bronx. I was accustomed to challenges and overcoming them. My parents, firstborn American Hispanics, trusted me. They knew they could depend on me. One day, the door knocks in our second floor apartment. I run down the stairs. My brother's friends are pulling at me. I see my brother sitting on the floor, on the road actually, his bike right next to him, blood pouring out of his head, rocks in his knees, abrasions all over. We go to the hospital. I wasn't 25 at the time. I was a child myself. I was 12. And my parents met us there. This was the beginning, this early experiences, and there were many of them that taught me family was important and the value of resilience. Little did I know this would be tested throughout. While I was in college, I was the nursing student at Columbia University. So I would travel from New Jersey to New York every day. But I had a very demanding, selfish husband. And I would have to answer to all his whims because that is what I knew. And I've often thought about this going back. What if my childhood was different? Would I have made different decisions? Would I have not become a nurse? Would I have traveled the world? Have you ever thought about what your life might look like if your childhood was different? But I didn't. I was a working mom of 4 children, all 2 years apart, with a very demanding job. And what I didn't know was that I thought I was handling my world well. I thought I had everything covered. I would drop the kids off at school, go to work in New York, run a major medical group, come home and take care of them. But there was a perfect storm that was brewing. My mother was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Now, that was difficult, but at the same time, my brother was also diagnosed with cancer. So the family had become smaller in who could be there. It was only me. My brother, luckily, his wife was there for him, and I was as much as possible. But my parents depended on me more than ever. And I was able to juggle the world around me. Um, I was able to go to doctor's appointments and to be there at home with her. But the world started to get challenging when my life looked like going to work and straight to a hospital to relieve my father, who had been there all day. And my mother, never having been sick before, she always wanted someone there. She was afraid. So I was there always for her. And there was a point where I felt overwhelmed. I was sinking. But the strange thing about it is, I know how to maneuver storms. I've sailed 32-foot sailboats with then my husband and my 4 children. Well, it was 3, and I was pregnant with my 4th. I was 5 months pregnant. And we were in a storm. And we were prepared. We all had our life preservers on. We all had done everything we needed to be ready for this storm that came upon us, and we didn't know what was going to happen. But the difference between that and my life, I was prepared for that. I knew what to expect. I had all the tools I needed. What happened next? I didn't have the tools, even though I thought I did. That night on the floor, crying hysterically, tears pouring down my face, all I wanted was to be free of worry and stress. I wanted serenity. I actually wanted to run away, if I'm being honest with myself. The tears were pouring down my face, didn't know what to do with myself, felt lost, couldn't. At that point, I had already been threatened my job, that it was noticed, even though I didn't notice it, that I was not doing as well as I should, that I was distracted. My kids' personalities had started to change because I wasn't there for them. And I was falling apart. But I swore I could do it. But it wasn't until I'm sitting there on the floor, not knowing what to do, that I pick up the pen and paper. And I write like my life depended on it. That was my new friend. That was where I could put everything down that I was feeling, thinking, my inadequacies. So from that point on, every day, that journal became my lifeline to me being able to figure out what my next steps were, who I was, what I needed to do. And the first thing that I figured out that I needed to do was, I figured I'm the one taking care of everyone. I'm not feeling well. I'm doing poorly in work. What's going on? And then I realized everyone else was coming first. I had forgotten by myself. I was not prioritizing myself because that's where I came from. That's what I learned. As a child, I cared for my brother. My children were young, cared for them. My husband, I cared for them. But no one made me the priority. So that was a different mindset that I needed to change. I needed to change that taking care of myself was important. And then, how do you take care of yourself? All of a sudden, you have to figure out what you're going to do. Went back to basics. Started very slowly. Just trying to eat better. Trying to get enough water, make sure I got enough sleep. I mean, let's be realistic. When this is going on, you can say what should happen, but realistically, it's a long journey and there are a lot of steps in the route. But for me, at least I had the awareness now. The awareness that if I was healthy, I could care for others better. And feeling healthier opened up my mindset. I was able to now think about doing different things. At lunchtime, I had the energy to go for a walk for an hour. And as I'm going through and still journaling every night, I then sit down and say, not really say, but I start to be compassionate to myself. I try to understand myself and realize that it was okay. I mean, I had all sorts of mixed emotions. Why me? Why did this happen? Anger. And I got through all of that and then realized that it wasn't a weakness to ask for help, that it was pretty strong for me to know my limitations and where I could provide better care by having more support. Now, part of my mindset on all this was that my father was not an affectionate person. And to me, affection always was shown through my strengths, my resilience, my accomplishments. And I never brought him my failures, what I thought were my failures, because I didn't want his disapproving and losing his love. And although that hindered me, I realized after that me being able to know my limitations and accept the help was a strength, was a resiliency. So I was able to work through that. So at this point, you know, I knew what I needed to do to be able to care for others. I knew I needed help. But you know, there's a lot more involved. It's very easy to say, you know, take care of yourself. How are you going to do it? But there's actions involved within each of those steps that need to be taken. That there's an outside world that has demands. There's people, if you're a caregiver, you're always the one that somebody goes to and says, can you help me? And in the past, you would have said yes. But with strength, I started to say no. I started to learn how to have barriers. I also learned how to communicate effectively what my needs were. And also, my relationships improved. Because I was feeling healthy. I was acknowledging my children more, my mother, and we were starting to find joy in this sad journey. And there is sadness in caregiving. There's no doubt about it. But it's how we approach it and how we feel as we do that makes the difference for both us and our loved ones. So through this journey, I learned that I became more aware of my limitations and my needs. I accepted my situation and I took action. And this was the beginning of the development of my roadmap to serenity. At the lowest point in my life, when I was sitting on that floor, crying, feeling lost, I vowed that no caregiver should be alone. So I offer to any caregiver, if they want to take the journey with me, reach out and we can do this together so that caregiving is a more fulfilling and joyful experience. And that's all for me.
I'm making this really long and uncomfortable. Take it in, Linda. You did phenomenal. All for you. Look at that smile. You freaking did it.
Thank
Woo!
you. Now I can breathe.
You can breathe. Well done, woman. Well done. And please put in the chat some amazing, amazing compliments for Linda so you can watch it later. There's already some super cool comments in the YouTube. You look beautiful. So good. Go share. This is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. You're going to watch yourself back and you're able to look at all the compliments that people already put there for you. Well done, Linda. Well
Thank
done.
you very much.
For you as well, and for everybody, I hope you recorded a video right after yourself. So Linda, for you, just grab your phone after you breathe. Grab your phone and share in the camera, right in state, how you feel after doing this. Because there's truly a before, there's a during, and an after. Like it was Dane Carnegie who said, there's always 3 versions of your presentation. The one you prepared, the one you did, and then the one you wished you did when you watch yourself back. And there's always 3. So know for every single one of you, when you watch yourself back, have some grace. Just be so super proud of yourself of doing this. And then look back at the video you created in state, telling your previous self, your inner child, like where you got already. And then tell your future self what you're committed of doing now to get to the vision that you already have. And with that said, we have one more speaker to be present for, to be present with, and to learn from. Who's excited to listen to the last speaker of this transformational roller coaster? Because can we agree, it is a bit of a roller coaster, right? You go through all the emotions and sometimes in like an hour. And this time it's not an epic woman. It's a super powerful man. And we all know who it is. I'm so honored to bring to the stage Richie Acosta, who's going to share with us how to defy the odds. Your journey of resilience to success. Richie, the floor is yours, man. The floor is yours.
May 3rd, 2001. The unimaginable happened. See, that was the first night that in 4 years of high school, me and my sister both slept out of our home. I slept at my girlfriend's house that night. That morning, as I'm driving into school, I pick up the phone, I call my mom. No response. She doesn't pick up. 6:30 in the morning, she's up. It's a bit weird. Why isn't she answering the phone? Didn't pay much attention. I kept going. I drive. I get to school. Park my car. Go into homeroom, then first period. Mr. Eisenberg's class, art. As I sit down in the chair, my phone starts vibrating within a minute. Starts vibrating. I'm like, who's calling me? I look at the phone. I pick up. It's my sister. Richie! Richie! Richie, come home! Come home, Richie! I jumped out of my desk immediately and run out of my class. Eisenberg comes after me, starts screaming, Richie, Richie, come back! I get in my car, I drive as fast as I can. I go home. And as I enter through the side door, right next to the garage, I open the door. I see my aunt. I see my maid. I see my father's cousin. And right in front of me standing is my sister, standing in the kitchen. I run to her. I give her a hug as tight as I can. She said, Richie, they took mom and dad. They took mom and dad. You see, that was the moment I found out my mother and father had just been kidnapped. I know some of you right now must be mind blown. Must be like, what the fuck? Is this a movie? What am I watching right now? Others of you might be thinking like, shit, that's a super sad story. You might want to come up to the stage and give me a hug. But you're like, what the fuck does this have to do with my business? And how am I going to make more money? Well, if you allow me the next 15 minutes, I'm about to share with you 3 valuable lessons that I had the beautiful opportunity in my 19 years to have my mother and father alive that my father taught me at the young age of 7. And these lessons that he taught me at 7 years old, see, it took me from losing over 100+ competition in martial arts to becoming a junior Olympic champion. And those same lessons are the same lessons I applied in my life over the next 23 years that helped me make millions of dollars. So if it's okay with you, wave your hands and just let me know that it's okay to continue the story. Thank you. See, right after that kidnapping happened, it was chaotic. Handful of days after, we get a phone call. They said, put the children on the phone. Pick up the phone, talking in Spanish, just the person that took them, said, your father committed some international crimes, and he's going to be judged for his crimes. But I got a message from your mother and father. Your mother's message is to trust in God. And your father's message is with the little money you have, don't trust anyone. That same night, one of my father's friends comes up to me and talks to me outside of my backyard, pulls me outside, says, Richie, ven aquí, mi niño, te quiero decir algo. Es bien triste lo que estás pasando, pero es tiempo que crezca y te hagas hombrecito. Lo poco que tienes, si solamente sacas de un clavo, lo vas a perder. Translation, very sad what you're going through right now, but you got to grow up and become a man. And the little money you have, if you take, you're going to lose it all. See, at that moment right there, without even knowing it, subconsciously, I adopted a belief out of fear. Let me ask you, how many of you, by just a show of hands, have had real fear? Real fear about making a decision. Indecision, like, do I move from this career to that career? Do I quit my corporate job and go and become and open up a business? Or do I quit what I'm doing and go and, which direction do I go? I don't know. Or it might look like, if you already have a business and it's like, whoa, there's a disrupting technology coming into the industry. I don't know how to adapt with it. Which direction do I take? Do I embrace it? Do I go against it? But you have real fear, not knowing what to do. Shit, I could relate. See, for me, real fear came right after that conversation. I was a 19-year-old boy. And now, my mom and dad, my 2 primary caregivers, were ripped out of my life. Had no idea how to provide for myself, never worked a day in my life. And I have a little bit of money that some man told me, if I don't do something with it, shit, I'm going to be out in the streets. Well, first person I trusted, I threw myself at real estate. We built a luxury home together. I get screwed out of the deal and I lose money. Second person I trusted, I thought, with my mentor when I was a little kid, the one skill that I'm good at, martial arts, done it since I'm 3 years old. I went to my previous teacher, opened up 3 schools with him. Again, I trusted someone. I got screwed out of the deal. I lost a lot of money. And then lastly, someone brings me an idea and it's like, hey, put some money into this software company. It's going public. It's going public in 6 months. You get a bunch of shares and when it goes public, you'll be able to cash out. Cool. No idea what the fuck I was doing. I trusted this person that brought me the investment. I went in, I put money. Guess what? I lost. Within that first year, I lost roughly $1 million. I'm going to repeat that again because most people don't even make this shit in a lifetime. I lost $1 million in 1 year. Talk about fear, real fear, knowing like, what the fuck am I doing? What this guy told me, I'm going to end up in the street by myself. How do I stand on my own 2 feet? How do I provide for myself? How do I provide for my sister and take care of her? Shit, I was scared. I was really, really scared. See, but you're going to want to take out a pen and paper right now because I'm about to share with you lesson number 1 that my father taught me at the age of 7. I just finished another tournament. I got disqualified, walking out, shoulders like this, kind of shrug, little boy. He gets down on one knee and he looks at me straight in the eyes and he's like, Richie, my son, let me ask you something. Are you tired of losing? I'm like, of course, Dad. With every part of my being, I'm tired of losing. At that moment, he looks at me straight in the eyes and he's like, then I need you to think, I need you to feel, and I need you to be a champion. Again, I'm going to repeat that. I need you to think, I need you to feel, and I need you to be a champion. I'm like, think, feel, be? Yes. If you want to succeed in anything, if you want to achieve anything, well, you have to be that first. Whatever you're trying to achieve, you got to be it. See, when we fast forward, and I'm now an adult, and I lost $1 million, and I'm trying to create a path for myself, I was fucking scared. Yes. But when I sat down and quiet, and when I got back to myself, and I could hear my dad's voice in my head telling me, you got to think it, you got to obsess over it, you got to breathe it, you got to feel it, you got to be it. So to me, I was like, shit, I got to be successful before I am successful. I got to walk around like I have $1 million, not like I just lost $1 million. And when I began to do that, guess what? Opportunities began to present themselves. One of my friends brings me, hey, here's a pre-construction. We just bought 2 houses. Oh, I went in. I put 25 contracts down on pre-construction. In 1 year, I flipped 25 contracts from the groundbreaking pre-construction. I made almost $500,000 in that one deal. That led me to investing in a commercial property. That led me to then building another home. That led me down to one of my friends from high school, one of my best friends, him and his father coming up to me in 2003 and telling me, hey, Richie, we have an opportunity for you. His father was doing his first condo conversion project. That's getting apartment rentals, converting them to condominiums. I invested $250,000 and turned that in 10 months to $600,000. Again, I put $250,000, I made $600,000 in 10 months. That right there was the beginning of me now propelling myself forward for the next 5 years, where I was like, I put everything. I went all into these projects, and I put everything into it. I also went to all my friends and family. I raised millions of dollars. A young kid, 23, 24 years old, raising millions, putting millions into these projects. But like everything that happens in life, what comes up must eventually come down. Now, let me ask you, how many of you have ever experienced something in the past, a past event, something that you're holding on to, and you're giving meaning to that past event? Let me see your hands. Yeah, I get it. Me too. See, in 2008, that was the financial crisis. 2008 financial crisis. That year, we had in condominium projects, we had roughly 3,000 condominiums in the market for sale in Central Florida. We were the largest developer in Central Florida. And me, a young kid, 24, 25, 26 years old, was the largest investor into all these projects and was the one that raised the most capital into all these projects. Yet, when 2008 happens, in my mind, I thought I was on top of the world. Yes, I had experienced some major pain and setback with my parents and losing them. But then it was like, and people betrayed me and stole from me early on. But I moved forward. I was able to create success, or what I thought in my mind was success, and make money and stand on my own 2 feet. And I did that very well for 5-6 years. But once this happens and 2008 comes, shit. I remember the day that I see on the news, Bear Stearns goes under. Next day or 2 days after, Lehman Brothers flashing headlight going under. Within a couple hours, they say all banks have stopped financing in the state of Florida for condominiums. Guess what? That was directly tied to my business. We had 3,000 units on the market at that time when that happened. That's roughly $350 million of condos for sale. Talk about fear. Talk about holding on to a meaning of a past event, making up stories. Well, for the next 2 years, that's exactly what I did. I was beating myself up. I was like, fuck, I'm a failure. I lost it all. What the fuck? I lost my friends. I lost my family's money. People that I love, that I care for. I lost their money. Their hard-earned money. People took out money out of their retirement to put into this because they trusted me. And I fucking lost. Well, that beat up stick, shit, that was real. I was beating myself up every day. You're a piece of shit. You're a failure. You're not good enough. You're not worthy. Yup. Did that for 2 years. Yeah. So I get it. When you're holding on to that past event, some shit that happened, and you're holding on to it, whether in your business or your personal life, guess what? It doesn't let you move forward. It impedes the progress, the momentum that you're trying to build. So in order to move forward, we have to drop the fucking story that we're telling ourselves. We have to dig deep within ourselves to bring to our awareness the narrative, the limiting beliefs that are holding us back, to recognize it and say, shit, this is what I need to drop right now. And that started for me in 2010. See, when my son was born, I'll never forget the day. I'm dead broke, had lost all my money, roughly about $5 million in that my personal money that I had into these projects, and all of my friends and family money, which was more than that. And I was down, feeling like shit. Yeah. And that day, I'm feeding my son, and as I'm feeding him, I'm looking at him straight in the eyes, and he's looking at me with these eyes like, fuck, Dad, you're my hero. The same way I used to look at my father. The same way I put my father on this pedestal and looked at him as a superhero, this little boy now is looking at me as a superhero. That was the moment that I walked into a bathroom and I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, Richie, right now, the victim is over. We're not playing the fucking victim card anymore. I'm not going to continue with the little story and the violin that I've been fucking repeating in my head, telling myself, I'm not good enough, I'm a failure, I'm unworthy, because I was attaching meaning to a past event. No. And you're going to want to take out a pen and paper again and write this down, because I'm about to get to lesson number 2. Lesson number 2 of my father. That day in that tournament that I'm shoulder shrug and I'm like this walking out, you know, and he gets down on one knee and he asks me if I'm tired of losing. I'm like, of course, Dad. And then he tells me, you got to think, you got to be it, you got to feel it. Well, the second part to that is like, he goes to me, Richie, you got to see it. If you want to be a champion, then you got to see yourself wearing that gold medal around your neck. You got to see yourself holding that trophy. You got to see yourself in the ring, winning every match. So at that moment, I'm like, fuck, I got to visualize. I've been focusing for 2 years on my problem. I've been giving meaning to this event that happened to me that, by the way, 99.9999 of every fucking developer across the United States got crushed during the 2008 financial crisis. It wasn't just us. And I was making it about me. No, the fucking market changed. Everybody was over leveraged. Okay. I didn't understand risk yet at that time. Okay. Well, it was a fucking expensive lesson to learn. But that I wasn't able to shift my mindset until I began to reframe it. See, for the past 10 years prior to that, I had already started working on myself through therapy, personal development, and thankfully I had some tools to be able to reframe. And I would ask myself, does this belief that I make about this event, does it serve me? And then the answer is no, it doesn't serve me. Okay, so what's the meaning that I've attached around this? Whatever the meaning is, doesn't serve me. Okay, so what is it that I need to believe so that it does serve me and I can move forward? And see, when I began to reframe my thoughts in my head, then the second part came in, which was my dad's lesson. I began to visualize. I began to see myself in a different future. I began to be able to dream again. Because now, yes, I was dead broke. Yes, I was on the ground. I was at zero. But in my mind, I'm painting a picture. I'm dreaming. And see, for me, the more questions I would ask myself, I'm like, Rich, if I go back 10 years prior and mom and dad are still here, and I'm like every other one of my friends in school, and I would have gone to college, what would I have studied? What did I like? I always liked finance. I remember as a young kid with my father watching the movie of Wall Street, the original one with Michael Douglas, and me telling my dad, I'm like, fuck, that's a cool job, Dad. I want to do that one day. I remember before the kidnapping happened, that December of 2000, I go to New York with my mom to look at schools. Yet because things happened to me in my life, I had let that go. And now I'm 28 at the time, more or less. I decide to dream. I decide to visualize. And when I did that, now I was able to see, okay, well, if I go back and I go to school, what would I do? Well, I want to get into Wall Street. If I want to get into Wall Street, where do I go? New York. It's the capital of finance, right? So what school do I go to? NYU. And I graduated at NYU with a degree in economics. And second year there, I broke into Wall Street. And I got a job in one of the most respectable broker shops on the street. And I worked there for 10 years. And it was an amazing experience. See, but let me ask you, how many times have you, whether it's in your personal life or in your business, you are attaching meaning to some event that happened, running that narrative in your subconscious, and then you're letting that shit keep you stuck in a time and a moment and place? Because I did that for 2 years, so I get it. And the way to move forward from that is, like I just said, once you begin to reframe and ask yourself powerful questions, then you can begin to visualize. And from there, you can take action, even if you're fucking scared. By the way, I was scared when I moved to New York City. I had no money. Zero. Got a job day one. A cousin of mine and my ex-father-in-law at the time gave me each $5,000. I moved there with $10,000 and put that first class in security to be able to live somewhere. But I fucking figured it out. Why? Because when you can be it, when you can feel it, when you can think it here in your mind and you obsess about it, you turn it into a burning desire, and then you can see it, shit, you could do anything you want. You could create anything you want. Before I get to the third lesson that my father taught me, I just want to ask you guys here in the room, how many of you, if you could relate, raise your hand and wave at me and just let me know, how many of you can relate with self-sabotaging? See your hands. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, me too. I did that shit for a long time. And even when I thought that I was past that stage, guess what? I redid it again last year. See, I know some of you might be saying, hey, I thought you were going to tie it into my income and my business. I am. And it is. And these lessons that I'm talking about can be directly applied to your business. And yes, I have a self-sabotaging story that I could use to business. But I actually want to use a different story right now, if you allow me. See, last year, 2023, beginning of last year, actually, sorry, I'm going to rewind a little bit. Right after COVID, I decided to quit my corporate job because there was always that entrepreneurial spirit in me that's like, hey, you know, I don't like being somewhere where my ceiling is capped. I want unlimited potential, create whatever it is that I want. So I quit and I ended up going to this tech company. And talking about self-sabotaging, see, self-sabotaging in your business could look like avoidance, not doing the task that you want to do. It could look like having to be in control of every part of the decision process where you're creating bottlenecks, right? It could look like fear of success and you tapping yourself out at some ceiling. Those are all ways that you're self-sabotaging yourself in your business. And in your personal life, it could look the same. It could look like you're avoiding, whether it's tapping here into your heart, into your vulnerability, so that you could be present in your relationships and you blow up relationships. Shit, I know that. I've done that. So, yeah, last year, when I went all in, or not last year, sorry, 3 years ago during COVID, when I went all into the tech startup, all the money that I had, again, millions into a company, thinking that I'm like, hey, this is the direction we're going to take it public. We're doing all this. But guess what? Because I was so busy looking around and being, distracted by the flash, what might look like, what you see on social media, the Lambos, the yachts, the house. I'm like, fuck, that's the life I once had. I want that life again. So I got to walk this path with these people. Yeah, no. I was distracted and I took my eye off the ball and I didn't tap into my intuition. And I didn't trust my own intuition. I ignored the red flags. And yeah, I sabotaged myself again. And for the second time, I'm able to make millions. And for the second time, boom, go right back to zero. See, I believe that when we ourselves, human beings, we choose a path and we try to force it. Because I have forced shit down, people's fucking throats. It's like, this is the path I'm forcing it. I believe in God, the universe, our creator, Jesus, whatever you want to call it, Buddha, I don't care. Has a funny way to tell us like, hey, Richie, choose differently because this isn't the path for you. Choose differently. I'm going to hit the reset button. And this that you just created, you're going back to zero. Because you need to choose differently. You need to tap into this, into your heart. And you need to surrender and trust. That is lesson number 3 from my father. Lesson number 3 was surrender and trust. When I'm in that competition that he's like telling me, hey, you got to think, you got to be it, you got to feel it, you got to possess it. You just got to walk, talk, act, think like a champion, and then you got to see yourself. The third part of that is he tells me that then you just got to fucking surrender. Trust that everything the work that you've been putting in, the mindset that you've been putting in, trust that it's going to lead you to the result you want. See, and I wasn't fucking trusting when I was there because a part of me knew that some shit was not right. And I was trying to jam it in and fucking force it. Well, guess what? I got hit again and said, hit the reset button, go back to zero. And last year, when I'm in my shit, when I'm going through it again for the second time, this time, instead of one child, I have 2, a teenager and a little beautiful girl, and I'm feeling like shit again, and I'm feeling it, the same feeling that I felt when I was 28, unworthy, not good enough, the fucking story, that shit's loud, man. That shit comes into your brain and it's like, fuck, I let my wife down this time. Fuck, I let my kids down again. I lost everything we had. But at that moment, I tap into the lessons I just taught you. I tap into the lessons my father taught me. And I began to dream it. I began to feel it. And I began to take one step forward in my purpose. And I began to say, you know what, God, I'm going to surrender. And I'm going to trust the process. And I'm going to trust that the universe, you, God, will put the right opportunity in front of me. And when it showed up, I walked right through it. And then another door opened. And when that opportunity showed up, guess what? I walked right through it with confidence, with belief. And I've been doing that since last year. And opportunities have presented themselves, and I've been able to make money, and I've been able to stand on one or 2 feet, and I've been able to start resolving some of my problems from the past. Financially, yes. Do I want to make millions of tests? Of course. Do I know that I'm going to create it this time, not out of fear, but out of love? 100%. Do I know that I'm going to impact people's life, and that's how I'm going to create all the abundance I want? 1,000%. Because I believe it with every part here. See, and the mission that I'm on, just to tie it all back and end this, the mission that I'm on is to help people just like you to silence this. What I call the enemy in our head, we could call it the monkeys in the head, the fear that comes up. Because I know what it is to live with fear. Real fucking fear. And I know what it is to beat yourself up, to feel unworthy, to want to fucking give up. Shit, I've been wanting to give up a lot many years ago. But I'm fucking here standing, taking a step forward, being vulnerable, showing you me, showing you my heart. Yeah. And when you can do that, when you can be so authentic that you let the world see you, I promise you that what you so desperately seek and want, you will create. You will create. And I'm on this mission to help you silence this, to tap into this. Because I believe that by doing that, we're raising the vibration of this planet and shifting it from fear to love. And I believe that if we do that, then we could create win-win situations in business, win-win situations in relationships. We could create love. Because when you're acting and taking steps and making decisions out of love, guess what? What comes back is only love. What comes back is only abundance. So if this resonates with you, if you're vibing with what I'm saying, do me a favor. Find me on any social platform. My name is Richie, letter A, last name Acosta, Acosta, and just give me a follow. I'm here to serve you and to add value to your life. Thank you.
Let's take a deep breath together, man. You did it. You did it. You tapped into your heart and you gave it all. Also for you, Richie, please grab your phone and record yourself in state and tell your inner child, your past self, the 7-year-old boy, kneel down to him now and share what you're feeling now, what you know about love, and share to that vision that you envision, the 10-year past Richie. What are you committing to do now that's bringing that future here? Well done, man. Well done. Well done, Richie. Well done, Linda. Well done, Jessica. Well done, Jamie. And well done, Nilsa. You've done it. Oh my God. Can we just like do this all together? Like get out of all the feels. I see the people in the backstage like going like crazy. Feel it out. You've done this. Humans' biggest fear, being seen in your full authenticity. The unconscious screaming, it's unsafe because of so many reasons in your past. It's unsafe because we're wired to survive. We're not wired to thrive. We're not wired to stand on stage. We're not wired to share our full life stories for other people. But you've done it anyways. You've done it anyways. You've done it clearly. You've done it with full heart. You've done it with presence. And you've done it in this group. You've leaned into the group. You've supported the group. Look at all the beautiful comments in the chat. Also for you, Richie, please make sure that you're watching all the comments and you're taking screenshots. You all, this is the place to also leverage the moment that you just took. You're all going to get access to your clips, your individual clips. Use them as social media footage. Use it to watch yourself over a whole week, 3 times a day. And think, you know what? I did it. Look back at your video that you took in the WhatsApp group in week 1. Not only what you said, but how you say it. You've improved, and we can make this a whole emotional thing. I want to keep it short. Is what if this is not the end, but if this is the beginning? The beginning of doing what you just in this group, but now share it with the world. Because this is not just a public speaking transformational journey. This is not just this public speaking academy where we're coming together. This is a place to step in who you truly are, utilize it in a way where you feel clear and concise, have a next level confidence. Yes, there's always a next level, but you got to your next level already. This is the place to bring this forward and to share it with the real people outside of, because can we agree that the world needs a little bit of more authenticity, a little bit more of high frequency, a little bit more love? And what if it's us that's going to change it? What if it's us that say, you know what? These fears in my head, they're still there. They are, because learning is a spiral. It's not a destination. It's a spiral. And every time you level up, you come through the same stations of doubt. But you just showed yourself that you don't need to stay there. You can fuel in the gas station, wave the thoughts goodbye, and just say, you know what? I'm moving forward anyways. I'm going to show up on social media every single day. Also when I don't wear makeup or when my hair looks a little weird. I'm going to reach out to that one person that I know who needs my help. And I'm going to make it easy for them to say yes. I'm going to reach out to different stages because this needs to go out there and I'm here to help people. Who here is here to help people? Like seriously? Like not because we said it all the time, but because you know it within your soul. And the reason why I ask you to record a video and say, if you have not done it yet, please do it now. Please do it today. to remind yourself in this state that this is what you're here to do. Just remind yourself that you do whatever it takes to get to that place where you're sharing this with other people. Because you showed in this group that you're totally ready. You know that you're already worth it because you exist, but you also show that you're ready. So also for the speakers today and for the speakers yesterday, if you have not done it yet, share a video of appreciation that they can use as a testimonial to share it with other people too. So we help, in Richie's words, the collective vibration. So we can all go make more impact and earn more money in the process. You all, I'm so incredibly proud of you. I don't have the words to describe how much this means to me, because it really does. I hope you feel it. I hope you feel it not only now, but that you felt it in the whole entire journey, every step of the way. You matter. You matter to me, at least. You matter to this group. I freaking love you. And just go out there and crush it. When you have wins, please share them with the community so we can celebrate with you. Please keep doing that, because you're an inspiration also for me to keep going. The process of growth is just not always easy. For no one it is, but it's worth it because of moments like this. So I think I would love to end with two things. One is to give you a really big hug. I hope you feel it. It's a squeezy one. And the second thing is 2.5 minutes of something that you all know. And let's all listen, feel, and be this song one more time. Because you really, really, really are.
One day, we'll be looking back on this and we'll say, aren't you happy that we did it our way? Everyone we knew was saying no way, but we were never listening anyway. So don't be just standing in the doorway. Don't you know we gotta hit the highway? Darling, this is gonna be a good day. And I've gotta say that I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. One day, I'll be looking back on this and I'll say, I'm so happy that you said you would stay. There were times I know that I was crazy, fraying at the edges and you saved me. I'm losing count of chances that you gave me. You're laughing at me dancing really badly, and telling me the reasons why you'd gladly do it all again. Cause I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Well, hey, words can never adequately convey everything you're giving to me today. But holding you is better than a holiday, and leaving you I dread it like exam day. So at the risk of sounding kinda risque, everything to now has been the foreplay. Darling, I would follow you to Norway, or anywhere you want it. Cause I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. You're amazing.
absolutely amazing. This was the Public Speaking Academy edition. Now, I absolutely love you. What would be super, super fun if you can make a super quick selfie or a selfie video in the way that you're watching this transformational journey right now. So you can share that in the WhatsApp group and show everybody how you've been participating in your unique space. And we are able to look back on that. So grab your phone, make a selfie video, and show yourself how you've been experienced this, and then share that photo, that video in the WhatsApp group so we're able to look at this journey all together. Make sure that you do the steps that were in the WhatsApp group yesterday. Record a testimonial video for everybody who already spoke. If you want to, this is an invitation. And then share your biggest aha moment and breakthrough from this last week, from you going through it. And if you feel comfortable enough, which I would highly appreciate, I would love watching it, is sharing the video that you recorded right after your talk in state, where you tell your inner child what you experienced, and then your future vision. You share to your future self what you are committing of doing in this moment. So you inspire by sharing those videos, sharing the whole authentic journey with everybody. And with that said, we will keep in touch in the WhatsApp group. You're going to get an email with next level information about how this all goes and how you can access the specific parts of your clip of your talk. You're going to get it all. For now, just freaking enjoy, be proud of yourself, celebrate this journey, and just know that you are absolutely, absolutely amazing. Bye-bye.